I've done many interviews with Sandesh Jhingan. I want to put that on record first. But this is very different. If there is anybody who can actually talk at length and tell us something about Sunil Chhetri that is not already in the public domain and celebrate him together, it has to be Sandesh Jhingan. Absolute rock star himself, legend of Indian football, Sunil's colleague in the national team for a decade now. And that is why I actually requested Sandesh for some time, despite knowing that he's undergoing rehab and it was
Mhm.
difficult for him to join me. But that's how he is. Moment I said
Mhm.
this, and he said sure and agreed to do this interview. So, firstly, grateful, absolutely
Mhm.
grateful, Sandesh, for joining me. When was the first time that you met Sunil? And can you tell me about your first interaction with Sunil Chhetri?
Firstly, thanks for having me on this show, and I would always love to talk about such legends. A little bit overwhelmed to be honest right now because I just spoke to him, a few hours ago when he said to me that because I didn't check on Twitter, so I didn't knew it. So I was just blown away and couldn't believe it. I said like I was just like a big shock. I was at the rehab center and I was doing my exercise and just couldn't believe. I'm trying to get hold of it. Uh, but that's how life is. I think my first interaction, of course, the first time I met him personally was in 2013 in Pune, and it was when I joined the national team camp, the senior team. But I personally always felt that I always knew him from before because when we were kids, we had his posters on the wall. We'd carry that small newspaper cuttings, put it on the notebook, and you always felt like you were talking to them. Come on, Paji, score against this team. Even though it's just on your notebook and you have a picture of the newspaper. So from them days to meeting him finally in 2013, Wim Koverman was the coach, and I was speechless. I just couldn't believe it, to be honest. My whole career has been like this. When I met him, I touched him, and when I started training with him, I was uh, from that day to now. It's oh yeah, really great memories of playing
Share
with him.
some. I
I
mean,
know I sound a little bit, huh?
no, but you must share some because our memories of Sunil and your will be very different. So give us some
Mm.
insights that we don't know. Sharing the dressing room, what is it like? What does he sort of match talk, team talk ahead of a difficult game?
Oh,
Give us
he's
some
just mad.
insights that we don't know.
First thing people don't know because he's always very serious and always very, perfect. But he's a very funny guy. He has a proper Delhi thing in him. So when we are, in the dining table or when we're just chilling here and there, he's one of the most funny guys and so sharp, and so sarcastic. When he wants to pick on you. So that's one thing which I think a lot of people don't know. But yeah, his team talks, every camp when we started, we always do a meeting. He calls everyone together before every camp. I think today also they did, and like every time he calls the team together, he shares his ideas, he shares his opinion, how we're gonna go ahead in this camp. But just his, some people are born with it. When they speak, it motivates you. It wants you to aim higher. It wants you to do something great. So he has that in his words and the way he speaks is just massive. So if you ask about uh, pre-match talks or pre-camp or when we come in the camp, his involvement in the national team, even when there's no national team games, we always have this group, and he's the most active in that group. Be it what the boys are eating, how they're training, he keeps talking to the lads regarding how they're doing in the ISL. So he's not someone you only see him in the national team or if he's in your club. He's someone who's involved 365 days a year with everyone. Be it if you only had one camp with him, or it's, well, for example, for me and Gopinandinda, when we've been together for a decade now, it doesn't matter. Even if you just had one camp, or even if you've never been in the team, I have some boys who come to me and said, like, Osmin Bhai messaged me because he thinks so much for the country, for the glory of this country, for the country to do well in this sport. So his involvement is immense, and like I just tweeted right now, once in every century, legends or demigods like him are born. So we were very blessed that God chose India to have Sunil Chhetri, and now what he has done is just incredible. I'm sure going ahead he's going to do even more.
Is it about discipline, Sandesh? I mean, because when he tells me that, I don't eat what I like, I eat what I need, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And he says, look, I might not be as talented as Messi or Ronaldo, but I can work harder than them. Working harder is in my hands. I can work harder than them. Is it about his discipline?
See, I don't know about Messi, Ronaldo. I only saw them on television, but from the players I played with, and I played with some top players in the ISL and the national team, I've never seen someone so talented with the ball. He often jokes about few other players that they were better than me. Da, 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 but oh, come on, you be on the pitch. There's a very fine saying. When you see a player playing a match, you understand his greatness. But when you train with him every day, you understand how actually good that person is. And that's what I felt. The only player ever I felt with was Sunil. Paji in training, he'll do some certain things that, my God, you'll be like, is it really possible you can do this with the ball? Anything he can do with the ball. It's a joke. If you tell him go take a corner and put it right in the net, right, left foot, any foot, he'll swing it in. Tell him score a 40 yards in training, banger, he'll do that. So in terms of talent, I've never seen anyone more talented, because since you mentioned that thing. And about the discipline, I still remember we were in Siliguri. I think we were playing, this is the final game of Wim Koeman. He was gonna step down as a head coach, and he told me in the bus, that time Sunil Bhai used to sit at the back, like second last or third last seat in the bus, and he told me like, hey kid, and he said, you're the prodigy. And I was like, I didn't know the meaning of the word back then. I was like, what does it mean? And he said like, you're the future of this country. And I was like, I didn't even make my debut. But he said, I see something in you. You want to be the future. I was like, okay. And then he said, eat like a caveman. That's one of his first lessons. And I was like, how was it, Paji? I said, you'll see. What it meant was, then every camp I saw the way he ate. He literally ate like a caveman, nothing cooked. And this is 2014, I think, and 2024. And that man, I don't know how he does it, but same discipline for 10 years. I've missed my bus sometimes. I've gone sometimes here and there. I would love to, especially when the tournament ends, I would like to have, certain foods which I miss, which I crave. But this guy never stops. It's just like he dedicated his whole existence for the betterment or for the glory for our country. And I think discipline is a smaller word. It's just that guy is I said, no, like people like him are very oftenly born. They're like 100, 200 years once they're born. So,
but tell me, I mean, you said he's witty and he's funny. You have to tell me one story, because that's not something we associate with him. We are like serious person, very intense person, passionate person. But you must tell me something.
No, it's hard to pick a story right now. It's just that whenever he starts talking, and his story is the way he tells a story, like I can't take names now here, but the way he tells stories and about, I know, it's just when he starts talking, and when suddenly there's 1, 2 guys with him, then 6, 7 will come, because it's just so funny, and the way he narrates the whole scene, how it happened, and he is actually someone who can just sit and 10, 15 guys that's actually what happens in the camp. When we are on that one table, so we're only 4 of us, 5 of us. Then when everyone is done with their food, everyone generally just comes there, and then he just starts telling stories. It's like becomes like mehfil lag jati hai. So whenever he's there, it's at least once a day, in 3 of them meals. So when he's sitting there, that's one of the things I'm gonna miss so much. Just to sit, and we would talk for at least 2, 3 hours. And I'm not joking. 10, 15 guys just sitting there, listening to his stories. He's picking every now and then on some of the younger lads, or me and Gurpreet, to make fun how we were when we came into the squad. So we're gonna miss those days, man. Of course, we are friends.
Last few questions. One, Your favorite Sunil Chhetri moment? Any goal that you remember? Any match that you remember? Anything that
Oh,
you remember?
in the final of Challenge Cup when he scored those bangers. Oh, I was in Chandigarh and this is 2008, no? Yeah. Through which when we qualified for the 2011 Asian Cup. Yeah. So in the final when he scored them goals, it was rainy. It was Delhi. We were back in Chandigarh. Me and my friends dreaming one day we'll get to meet him or be in the national team. So that's one of the earliest and finest memories. And yeah, I think when I never played for the country when I was 16, 17, and watching him play on television, oh, it used to be a joy, man. We used to wait, count days, hours, minutes, and then the national team plays, and then see the whole team. I still know the whole team, the 11, and great days, man. Those ones. So those are the earliest and the best memories.
यार ये तो पता है कि आप obviously rehab कर रहे हो and like he said you are the rock star and all of us know that. I mean coach says that. Sunil told me you're the leader in the dressing room. आप आओगे क्या कोलकाता? 6 जून आप आओगे क्या कोलकाता देखने के लिए?
No, of course I will be there. I hope so. And of course, in God's hands, I never plan things way too ahead. But yeah, I want to be there now, especially after knowing this that my captain is gonna retire from international duty, and yeah, I'll be there. I wish I could have been on the pitch. That's what we spoke last time on the phone when I was in Pune. I said, like, Captain, you're not thinking of anything like this, no? He said, like, no, I might be like this. I said, hey, you cannot retire. I need to be on the pitch. But that's God's will, so I can't be there. But of course, from the stands. But yeah, I'll support the country. It's a big game. I know the emotion around it, but we are playing Kuwait and we need to beat them and send off, if that's the word or the fable, to our captain. The best way would be qualify for the next round, and for that, we keep the emotions in our mind and for some time, but then back on track and just only focus on defeating Kuwait. That's it.
Last question. When you have defended against him, he is the other side, club
He's
football,
irritating,
ISL.
man. Yeah. He's irritating to play against, man. Small nudges, when you go in air, he will just hit his glutes on you. You lose balance in air. Nice stuff. It's very tough to play against him, man. He's so witty. He's so smart. His positioning. I take a lot of pride the way I position myself. And I take a lot of pride in my jump or the way I defend. Not being arrogant, but I think I'm decently well. But when you play against him, you feel that he's always a step ahead. So you just have to be way too much on top of your game. And yeah, I think that's what you asked now. How's it playing with him? So that's how it feels that he's ahead of you a step. So you have to, and that's why you enjoy playing against top players because they push you to your limits. Because you always, whenever there's a ball, I read a play 2, 3 passes before, and he's read it 4 passes before, and then you have to think a little bit more ahead. So it's all like a chess game playing against him because he's too smart. And then when it comes to the physical side, for his size, he can jump a bloody mountain over. When you go up in air with him, he's so intelligent. If he's a little bit less in air with you, he uses his glutes so well and pushes you a little bit and then puts the ball down on his chest. You must have seen that on television also. So in everything, and left foot, right foot, you can hit them top corners. So it just puts you in a very uncomfortable situation when we play against him, but you enjoy it. I always fancied it.
चलो फाइनल क्वेश्चन. आपने जब बात किया 2-3 घंटा पहले, उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा बताओ. When you called
No,
him,
I was shocked. I couldn't. I can't go in detail because I was like, I'm not gonna. The funniest thing, and I still, as a junior to him, I just said that I'm not believing it. That's it. He said like it's announced, it's done. I said I still don't want to believe it. That's it. And then I just uh, I got a little bit emotional, but of course, I didn't do it the right way. I was like, fuck it, like I don't know. It was a tough one, but it just came like a shock to me. I was not expecting it, and that's life. But we must celebrate the career he had. My God, it's stuff of the dreams. It's magnificent, and I hope on the 6th, the whole country turns up, and We all celebrate such greatness. Because trust me on this, I've kept on hearing this since I made my debut. Who will replace him? Who will replace him? And I was like, you guys are dumb. If you keep saying this, when it ends, you all will be going on YouTube and trying to find his videos and find his goals. So here you are, everyone. Enjoy what you all were just talking for so many years, and the day has come. So, but what a career, what a legend, what a legacy. He is immortal for this country and for this sport. This guy's name will be forever written with golden words. The man who made a difference, the man who inspired a nation of 1.4 billion.
I'll end there. Unbelievable interview. And it shows the kind of friendship, respect, admiration, bonding, camaraderie, whatever you want to call it. Sandesh Jhingan, one final request: come to Kolkata for the 6th. You need to. You need
I
to come.
will. I hope God allows it also. So for sure I will be there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Paji. And once again, my gratefulness to you for joining me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, brother.